There's one thing that gives hope for the eventual return of warm weather, and that's the first sign of spring. Hello and welcome to Wyoming 360. I'm surrounded by signs of spring here at Molesta Floral, and there's no better symbol than the Easter lily. Stick around, it's spring in Wyoming and you're about to do another 360. There's one element of our daily lives that knows no season, and that's transportation. With record fuel prices, the threat of climate damage, public transportation is more popular and necessary than ever. Whew! South Division Avenue is one of several main arteries in the city of Wyoming, and a millage request that would in essence be matched by the federal government could mean whole new transportation opportunities here in Wyoming.
And those possibilities are endless. These buses daily traverse up and down Division Avenue, but as West Michigan continues to grow, the threat of traffic congestion continues to be a challenge that Wyoming, Kentwood, and Grand Rapids face.
Enter the Silver Line, also known as BRT, Bus Rapid Transit. Called the Silver Line, it's a concept that combines traditional bus travel with the light rail system seen in larger U.S. cities and in Europe as well. What will it look like? The Silver Line, instead of using bus stops, will use stations. Every mile or half mile down the road, stations will be roofed, feature lighting, and easy access electronic fare systems. This will all make for quick and easy travel up and down Division from downtown all the way back to 60th.
Our plan is the Silver Line is going to operate in the Division corridor until it gets downtown to about Wealthy Street, and then it go up to Medical Mile.
Not to mention that these buses will be hybrid electric vehicles, even shaped like trains. They'll speed along in their own lanes, north to downtown and back south to 60th Street in Wyoming.
The bus will be in a dedicated lane at peak, a lane just for itself. Okay. It will stop at 9 stations coming in, and it'll stop at 9 stations going out. There'll be pairs of stations. And it will take 27 minutes, for example, to go from 60th Street and Division to Spectrum Health on Medical Mile.
This whole idea has been tried in other cities and has been very successful. And one of the most important elements of the Silver Line Bus Rapid Transit system is going to be economic. As people flowing up and down Division Avenue increase because of the higher quality transportation available, each station every mile or so down the entire Division Avenue route will begin to attract development and revitalization. Since this has been proven in other cities across the country, the Silver Line of Wyoming and Kentwood will provide a steady flow of customers in and out of businesses along the route.
The rides will be whatever our fare is at the time.
Okay.
Right
It'll
now,
be the same as the regular buses.
It'll be regular, because it's going to be seamless. You know, our transit passes will have to be valid on that service, and then they can go off on our buses if they need to.
Okay.
So the whole concept is a seamless transportation service using one fare medium.
So it's simple. A totally new mass transit system that'll make travel from 60th Street down to Wyoming and Kentwood all the way downtown and back very fast, very efficient, and very conscious of the need for economic development in the corridor. The Silver Line. Economic development in the city of vision and progress. All aboard! Water. It makes everything grow. And the city of Wyoming, being a city of vision and progress, saw the importance of water some 50 years ago. 30 miles to the west lay a literal sea of fresh water. Fresh water that city fathers knew would mean growth if they could find a way to bring it inland to Wyoming. beautiful shores of Lake Michigan where the City of Wyoming gets its drinking water. Now, the City of Wyoming first began drawing water through its newly constructed Lake Michigan water supply system in July of 1966. At the time, the original project was $13.5 million, and it was financed in part through the sale of bonds, as well as with some help from Ottawa County. But Wyoming residents aren't the only ones to use City of Wyoming water. Over the years, several wholesale and retail customers have signed on to use City of Wyoming water as well. These include Georgetown Township, Holland Township, and Byrons and Gaines Township. So how does water become suitable for drinking all the way from Lake Michigan to our taps at home? Well, I'm here with Mike Averill, the Utilities Operations Supervisor for the drinking water plant, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about that. Now, Mike, we're here at the lake, and there's a cottage behind us. What's that all about?
This cottage over here is actually part of our pumping station. It's a low-service pumping station. It's got 6 low-service pumps that take water from Lake Michigan and move it a half-mile east of here into our drinking water plant.
So the water comes in the pipes from the lake, makes its way into the pump house here, and that's where some of the initial straining, and we keep out the zebra mussels and those kind of things. Clearly, this cottage is more than meets the eye. Can we take a look inside?
Yes, you can.
All right. So, Mike, we're here in the cottage. What exactly goes on in here?
Okay, within this building, we have 6 vertical turbine pumps. We have 3 over here, 3 there. What happens is the water from Lake Michigan comes in through the intake pipe that we talked about before. It comes in under the floor. Under this floor are 3 wet wells. Comes into the center wet well and then distributes to each side, north and south, and it goes through some screens at that point. At that point is the first filtering of the water. What we're trying to take out there are zebra mussels, any large driftwood, anything probably bigger than your pinky.
Okay.
So we're also disinfecting as the water comes through this point.
Okay.
These 6 pumps will pick up that water and then they'll move it 3/4 of a mile to the drinking water plant where we start our treatment process.
Well, this is certainly very interesting, but why don't we head over to the plant and talk a little bit more about the treatment process?
Where you find yourself now is actually the highest elevation of the drinking water plant. We're on the west side of the plant. The water has been pumped 3/4 of a mile from Lake Superior or Lake Michigan shoreline up into the tanks that sit under the concrete here. There are 4 vertical tanks here, and we have mixers. That's the blue machines that we have here. These are vertical mixers. We're adding chemicals here. This is the first place within the treatment train that we're adding chemicals other than for zebra mussels down at low service.
This is quite an interesting room. Can we go ahead and move on and see what's next?
Yes, we can.
All right.
This is a settling basin. This was part of the original construction in the 1960s. Essentially, the water comes in what we call a plug flow. It moves at the same speed all the way across. And in the top portion here, we are broken into 3 segments. We have baffle walls in between them, and then we have mixers. And the mixers here, you can see as they come around, these are redwood mixing planks, and they are very similar to what you would find on the back of an old riverboat. And what we're trying to do within these zones here is slow the water down and let the aluminum sulfate and the polymer that we have added in the rapid mixes come together and create what we call a snowflake. As they get heavier, they start settling to the bottom. The clean water is up on top. Now, along the length of here, we have collection troughs, fiberglass troughs that pick up that cleaner water and then transport it to the next part of the treatment trains, which is the filter beds. This is filter number 11 right here, and we've actually initiated a filter backwash on this filter. The filters are a very interesting part of the treatment plant. The filters are actually considered the workhorse of the entire process. You can see the water starting to clear up.
Clean as a whistle. So I believe this is the pump room.
Yep.
And we've got some mighty big pipes here, Mike. If I jump inside this, is it like an underground fun slide or something?
Well, this is our pump room, and what we have is water that comes through these pumps. This is actually the suction side of the pump, and the water will flow through here and go out on the discharge side. So it's taking finished water that came out of our filters and now is out in the tanks outside being stored. We take that water, We bring it through this pump, and then it goes into one of our two pipelines that go to all the way 30-some miles into Wyoming to the Kazan pumping station. And those pipelines are large enough for you to walk through. The operators have what we consider a control room over here. I'd like to take you into that and show you how our computer system runs this plant.
Okay, will you let me push any buttons?
No. Megan, this is our control room. This is the brain box of the water treatment plant. We have a system of computers. This system will actually operate or monitor the entire treatment plant. It looks at the lake shore. It looks at the treatment process here and the tanks associated with it. And it looks at all of our remote customers, every single one of them. There's an operator here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week running this plant.
Well, Mike, I'm very glad to see. It certainly looks like you have everything under control in the control room. Good news, City of Wyoming. So thanks for showing us around here. And Mike, I've got to tell you, I'm kind of partial to the way that Wyoming water tastes. And when I go to other communities, I sort of wish I could take my tap along with me.
Well, you can. The city years ago started bottling their water. We are required, if we lose pressure, to go into a bottled water alert. And we also have offered it at City Hall at times in some of our city functions. We think it's a great PR tool to have the City of Wyoming's label on our drinking water.
Well, everyone, keep drinking your 8 glasses a day and know that the City of Wyoming is doing the best job it can to bring you safe, clean, and delicious drinking water. You probably didn't know that Wyoming is home to 21 parks within its boundaries, parks of almost every size and function. And keeping those parks in great shape is the job of the Parks and Recreation Department. But maintaining parks isn't their only job. Parks and Rec, as they're commonly known, is also responsible for coming up with great activities involving spring, summer, and fall events. But maintaining parks is only one factor in the use of city parks. The Parks and Rec Department is also responsible for coming up with spring, summer, and fall programs in each of the city's parks.
Probably gonna need 7/16 inch. Gonna have to really pull back on that.
Your spring and summer activities could take place here at Palmer Park, or here at Ideal Park. Then there's Frog Hollow, or here at Kazan Park. Not to mention nature preserves like George Tillamook or Buck Creek. In Wyoming, the list of parks goes on and on. All in all, the city has 21 parks, and there's something for everyone in each one. Today we take parks for granted, but in the 1800s, the idea of a park in the city was a totally new concept. As the Industrial Revolution changed the face of city living, people began to see and feel the need for a green space. When the City of New York created Central Park in the mid-1800s, it was the first city to do so, and the response from the public was confirmation that parks within the city boundaries were here to stay. Now, Wyoming has a lot of parks, more than most cities the same size. That's because people value the green space and what it gives back to their quality of life. But Wyoming does more than just maintain green spaces where you can walk your dog. No sir, the Parks and Rec Department creates great seasonal programs that take advantage of each of our city's parks. One of the most unusual is the film festival. Designed to get area teens who are artistically inclined to use the parks in creative ways, the Parks and Rec Department created a 48-hour film festival. Wyoming is one of the first cities in the nation to do so. So there it is, the City of Wyoming's Parks and Rec Department, something we can all be proud of. I think I'm going to try to get into that film festival. If you want to know where you can go to participate in spring, summer, or fall programs, or just to find out how to get to any of the parks in the city, go to the city website at www.wyomingmi.gov and click on Parks and Rec. 18, 19, 2021. Well, what do the Wyoming Parks and Recreation Department, the Wyoming Public Schools, and the State Education Department have in common? Well, this year, and for the last 4 years, it's Team 21. Funded by the 21st Century Learning Grant, Team 21 stands for Teach, Enrich, Achieve, and Move. And through this great after-school program, the lives of hundreds of children in Wyoming are being changed. Looking for a recipe for success? We'll try these 4 ingredients: teach, enrich, achieve, move. Over the past 5 years, the City of Wyoming Parks and Recreation Department, in partnership with the Wyoming Public Schools, have found amazing results with these 4 items through their Team 21 after-school program. With me is Jessica Hughes, one of the program administrators for Team 21. Jessica, can you tell me a little bit about the team of Team 21?
Sure. TEAM stands for Teach, Enrich, Achieve, and Move. And we believe that it really encompasses everything that we do in the program. We work with kids on academics and homework, and so they're learning things while they're with us, but it's not just that. We also do all sorts of enrichment opportunities with them. We have karate and arts and crafts and science experiments. When they're with us, they're really learning about so much more than just academics, and they have such opportunities to learn so many other things. And another big part of our program is physical fitness and recreation. So during their time with us, they're doing 45 minutes a day of all sorts of different activities, running around, moving, burning off calories, and learning that it can be fun to be active.
Now, do you guys pre-program all the choices so the kids get to have some kind of say in what they want to do?
Sure. Choice is a big part of the program. We find that it's better to engage kids when they're doing things that they want to do. So we look to find things that are fun, disguised learning opportunities for them and give them lots of choices throughout the day.
So Jessica, what's your favorite part about working with the Team 21 kids?
I love that our program is so full of diversity. We have such a richness in our student group, and students have such a great opportunity in after school to learn all sorts of things about other cultures, about their friends and the traditions that their friends' families have, and things that we don't always have time to get at during the school day, and believe that they really get to learn to appreciate a lot of other traditions and cultures when they're in after school.
I'm here with Trevor Davies, who's another one of the program administrators for Team 21. Now, Trevor, Jessica told us all about the team. Can you help us out with the 21?
Yeah, absolutely. The 21 comes from our funding source, which is grant funding for this program. As you can imagine, a program of this magnitude is very expensive to run.
Sure.
And one of the great things about the program is it requires no matching funds from the city or from the school districts. So we have 3 grants currently that total over $7 million worth of funding over a nine-year period of time. And it's called the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant, and that is awarded through federal dollars but channeled through and awarded by the Michigan Department of Education.
So Trevor, these multiple rounds of funding, did you do that on your own or I believe in partnership with one of the school districts? Is that correct?
It is correct. We started in 2004. We partnered with the Wyoming Public Schools to write our initial grant, and that grant was for 3 elementary schools. It has since grown to include not only Wyoming Public Schools, but Godfrey Lee Public Schools, Godwin Heights Public Schools, and Kellogg'sville Public Schools.
So how many people does it take to run a program like this?
A lot.
Yes,
we believe in keeping low staff ratios. So right at the point of service, that's where the quality is of our program, is right where the magic happens, right there with the kids. And so for us, we really value those low ratios. So in our program, for every 12 students, we have 1 staff member. That's what we try to stay within. So rather than send 50 kids into a room, with 1 staff member and just kind of babysit, we really want quality. We want relationships. We want positive things happening in those environments. We want caring adults developing relationships with those kids. They're role models. They're much more than just, what we call group leaders. They're many different hats that they wear during the program with our kids. We have occasional volunteers in the program, anything from teaching the students how to knit to volunteering and chaperoning on field trips and helping to supervise the children when we go to the Grand Rapids Public Museum, and we also have a lot of support from the schools. So we have school day teachers that will come in during the after school program and help on occasion, or they'll help out during a special event or activity. So it truly is, the village to raise a child kind of concept.
Now, if I remember correctly, after 5 awesome years of success, Team 21 won the Wood TVA Connecting with Community Award this year. We're very proud of that. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. The director of our department, Rebecca Reinbrandt, submitted an application to be considered for the Wood TVA Connecting with Community Award this year. And we were one of 8 finalists, well-deserving finalists, and in January we were acknowledged as the winner of the first annual award. And so it was a really neat moment for us to share with all of our partners, because this program truly is a collaborative effort.
This is Alexis, she's in 6th grade. And what's your favorite part about Team 21?
I like that we can do different varieties of stuff and it's not really just like limited to like homework and stuff like that. It's just we can do different varieties of things like cooking.
Okay. Here with Isaiah Pod, local skateboarder and chalk artist. Isaiah, tell me about Team 21. What's your favorite thing about it?
Probably the activities. They have outside activities, they have indoor like cooking and stuff, and like dodgeball.
Dodgeball, that's always a good time.
Yeah.
I'm with Brooke Davis, a school social worker here. Brooke, you have a lot of experience with Team 21. How do you think it affects the students?
I think Team 21 is an awesome program. I think that it gives all students an opportunity to learn and grow outside of the classroom, and it really works on developing their social and emotional well-being. Anytime you provide opportunities outside of sports and athletics, what students are used to, it really helps them channel into their creativity. Through the cooking classes, it really helps them build character and development, and it really makes them feel like they have a place where they belong.
What are some of the biggest changes you've seen in children's lives as a part of going through this program?
I think what's hard is coming from an elementary. I think kids naturally connect to activities. When I was in the elementary working with the Team 21 program, I get a little nervous because in middle school, it's just a different ball game with kids. And I think what I have seen is that wonderful transition from elementary to middle school, how it affects the kids during the day. Because they have that linkage and because they have that after school component, the kids are more adjusted, they are well adjusted during the school day, during the day. During the day, sometimes kids feel like they can get lost. We have 640 students here, just at New Hall alone. And so I think sometimes when you're mixing in and you're trying to find where you fit in that's hard. But Team 21 provides that opportunity through that smaller ratio where they can get that bonding, they can talk.
Well, I've got to say, I wish Team 21 was around when I was a kid, but it's great to see how the community's coming together to empower the lives of our youth. I think I'm gonna go play with the kids now. Well, spring has definitely sprung here in Wyoming, and things both here at Molesta and around the city are looking better than ever. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Wyoming 360. And as you go around the city, do your own 360, and know that there's always plenty to see and do here in Wyoming.